Good afternoon and welcome to America's Home Cooking. We are making cranberry coconut, I'm going to use coconut milk and see if we can do this, scones. Now somebody, more than one of you I should say, has asked me what is the difference between scones and biscuits. Because in America we make biscuits. Well, let's take the recipes and find the difference. Now I'm going to be reading the very basic biscuit recipe. Now, the flour ratio is pretty much the same with the milk, okay? Now, when you get to the baking powder, you use more baking powder in the scones. But when it comes to the salt, the biscuits use more salt. And when it comes to the butter, to the shortening, that's equal. So actually the flour, the milk, and the shortening, or if you wish to say butter, those are all equal. But the thing is the baking powder is higher in the scones, but the salt is lesser than the biscuits. So that's the big difference. And plus on top of it, you add eggs. Biscuits have no eggs in them. So this is the difference between the two. Okay, where did oh heavens. Oh, there it is. My shopping list. I need it. Okay, so that's the big difference on all of these. So the scones have more baking powder, less salt, and they add eggs. Whereas the biscuits have less baking powder and more salt, according to the ratios. That's the big difference in it. But the biggest difference of them all, I guess, you would say, well, the scones have eggs and biscuits don't. Okay, we'll have to turn this. Now we're going to need a food processor to make these. Now remember, I'm taking a very basic British style scones, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to put currants in them, and we're going to be using coconut milk because I don't want to waste my coconut milk, so why not? All right, so we're going to need 3 cups of all-purpose flour, plus I'm going to also add a tablespoon of wheat germ into this because I want to make sure that I keep the nutritional value up. So that's the big difference between the two. They're close, but not quite. That's why biscuits are flaky, and that's why scones are more together. So as you can see, this causes these problems. You have to be aware of them. And this is what people do. Once you have a basic recipe, you can maneuver with it all the time. 5, and this is 6, so this will be 3. Always measure your dry ingredients level, please. Do not shake them. If you shake them, you're adding more than you want, and then things are heavy. All right. We'll get to the oven in a minute. I want to get some of this going first, all right? I just want to get these ingredients in here first, okay? And another thing is the scones have sugar. Biscuits have 0 sugar in them. We are going to try Thurman corn huskey. I'm going to try. I have coconut milk left, so I want to take the coconut milk that I have, and instead of using currants, currants, I'm going to put dried cranberries in here, and we're going to make scones. I'm hoping they're going to come out. So, Jeanette, hello, good afternoon, everybody. We're just working on this. So, also, scones have sugar. Biscuits have no sugar. Okay, you need 1/3 of a cup of sugar. This all has to go into a food processor. This is how this is being done. You need a 2.5-inch biscuit cutter, cookie cutter, whatever you want to call these things. Some people call them cookie cutters. I call them biscuit cutters. I have 2 1/4, so mine are going to be a little smaller than they want. We need 2 tablespoons of baking powder. a lot of baking powder. Okay, well, anyway. Hope all of you are having a wonderful day today. Okay, that's my salt. All right, I'm just checking things before we go any further. Okay, we're going to pulse this, but not yet. I'm just getting some things set up, like prepping. I'm putting things together, okay? Let me get you over here. I'm going to pull you down a bit, okay? Hi, Alexandra. USA. We're in the USA, okay? What they want you to do, I've already described and explained ovens, but let me go through it again, okay? You have 3 sections. You have the upper, the middle, and the lower. When you have a really big roast like turkey, they'll drop it down here, okay? When you make crackers, you'll have the shelf up here because you'll have to switch the trays because they first got to cook here, then they cook here, or vice versa. Now, when you do most of just about everything, unless it tells you specifically, you're always in the middle of the oven because if you pull it high, it won't cook. If you have it too low, it'll burn. Most things are set at that temperature, at that level. But because we're making scones, we have got to move to the upper part. In other words, the upper third. We're talking about this section here. We're not talking about under the broiler. We're just talking you have to clear the upper third instead of being in the middle, which I've done. I pulled my shelf up because I have a smaller oven. It's a little different. Okay, you're going to set your temperature, bake at 500. These are going to cook very, very fast. Okay, 500, Sandra, not 400. $500. Okay, so whenever you do anything, now cookies are very, very delicate. They are always going up on in the upper third of the oven, okay? This, you mean? This is a brooch. It's gold and anyway, that's what it looks like, okay? It's a little flower. Let's see if I can bring you closer so you can see this. Because I know people love these things. There it is, right there. It's an antique. And it's costume jewelry, but I just loved it because it was antique, and even antique jewelry can get very expensive if you hold on to it. We are making scones, all right? So now we've got this combined. Now they want us to, we'll fix the baking sheet in a minute. I'm not worried about it. They want you to pulse this flour, sugar, baking powder, and salt in a food processor. Maybe I should put a tablespoon of wheat sugar in now. I don't want to add too much wheat sugar because it'll mess up the flavor of this. So I'm only putting a tablespoon in. Okay, I'll drop you in this way. Good enough for me. All right, pulse 5 times. That's not going to do it. That did it, just about. Come on. A little more. Come on. All right, now we've got it. Now they want you to take a whole 8 tablespoons, a stick of butter. I'm going to need a knife. I better get my knife for this. Where did I put that butter? Oh. They want you to cut it in How many pieces? They want you to cut them in 1/2-inch pieces. I'll have to scoot you back, I'm sorry, a bit. Let me see if I can get you higher. It's a bit crowded when I pull this out. Yeah, Shane, scones. Model cooking, yes I am. And FAI. Okay, we got it. All right, I am going to cut this in tablespoons. So let me cut this. If you can't see this, I got the book here and I've got a tiny little area here on the corner. Just take a stick of butter, make sure it's room temperature, and cut it 8 times. We're just going to stick it in here. I tell you, Sandra always uses frozen butter. This one won't let me. Okay, so we can't. So we're going to have to do it this way. Okay, well, got it there. Now they want us to they want it to be finely crumbled with no visible butter. Okay? And then we'll get to the rest of this. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. I know they say pulse, but let's do it my way. No, making scones. I have to see if there's any butter pieces here. Oh, we haven't gotten all the butter pieces yet. We're going to have to do some more. I'm checking it for lumps, chunks of butter. If they don't have that, you got it just right. That's what I'm actually feeling for. I got small pieces, that's fine. Okay, we're done with this. Okay, we can pour this into a bowl. All right, we need 3/4 of a cup of, they say currants, but I'm not using currants. So I need a cutting board. We're going to have to chop these up. All right, currants are very, very, very tiny. I mean, they're like this big, okay? We're talking really tiny. I should know I have a currant plant in the back. I had 3. So my neighbor decided to do something with her fence. And as you can see, these are much larger. So we have to chop these down. And we need 3/4 of a cup of these chopped up. This is going to be interesting how it comes out. Scones are like a sweet biscuit. They're not real sweet, but they have just enough in it, close to a biscuit, but there's a slight difference. I said it at the beginning of explaining biscuits and scones, but they look like a biscuit. You'll see it at the end of this when they're done cooking. All right, so let me turn you down now that you're not blended that. This is a 1/2 cup. I still have to get another 1/4 of a cup, but I'm going to start chopping these because these are just too big. I'm not going to get them all the right size. Some of them might be large or small. We're going to cut a lot of them down. But now you know what the difference is between a scone and a biscuit. Scone has sugar, eggs in it. It adds more baking powder and less salt, whereas but the butter and the liquid and the flour are in perfect ratio. But when you add the eggs and you add the fruit, you add more baking powder and less salt, you end up with scones. And you also cook the scone at a higher temperature. You do 450, usually for biscuits, whereas we're at 500. Well, we're getting to 500. So that's the big difference with them. We're going to put this in the flour mixture because we're going to mix them up in a bit, but I need another 1/4 of a cup. Okay. So I can't wait to try these. I know we used to buy scones because I didn't have a recipe, and I knew it was close to a biscuit recipe, but I couldn't figure out what I was missing. That was the only thing I was having trouble with. So when we're done here and while these scones are cooking, I will read a simple biscuit recipe for those of you that have missed it. And it's really quite easy. But I did do a video on butter biscuits. You're better off looking at that because it's more explaining there than this. So maybe I shouldn't give you the biscuit recipe here. But some people just might get confused. Why are you doing this? All right. Now you're going to coat these. Oh, that was done this morning. You'll have to look at the live that I did before this. Well, actually, it was in 2 parts, so you'd have to see the last 2 before this. Okay, now we'll get the liquid together. Here comes the coconut milk, and we'll see if this works. It should work. It sounds really... I thought about adding a couple of tablespoons of coconut flakes in this. Just a few, because I don't want it to be too heavy, because I'm adding coconut milk. What do you guys think of that? If we should add a couple of tablespoons of just pieces of coconut, dried coconut, in with the scones. I'll let you think about that. I'm going to go get my milk. Don't you dare. Come on, I'm asking you to help. All right, so you're not going to say anything. You're going to leave me on my own. Okay, we want 1 cup of coconut milk. We'll see how this comes out. I'm still thinking of it, adding some coconut. Oh, that is a bummer. I'm going to have to add some milk. I don't have enough. Well, it's almost up there. That's close. Okay, guys. They're not going to help me. I'm going to pull this one off on my own. You know, I do ask your opinion because I'm pulling you into the kitchen. At least you could do is be volunteering about a few things. I'm missing about 2 tablespoons. Okay. because you guys are not going to answer me, I am going to put 2 tablespoons of coconut flakes, sweetened coconut flakes, into these scones with the currants. See, y'all are getting quiet on me. There's 1 tablespoon. And this will be, you know, just to help to bring the coconut flavor with it. It should come out nice. Yeah, I can smell you. You need to be cleaned. I'm not cleaning you till the spring. See, you're not talking. I asked you. Did you think coconut flakes would go nice? And there's just a few. Okay. Anyway, I'll mix them up in here. So there'll be far few and in between, but it'll be like a treat. All right, do I need anything else in here? Yeah, 2 large eggs in the milk. I've got the coconut milk here. I'll turn you down. Well, I'm going to clean the counter before I roll these out. Okay. I'm going to beat the egg and the coconut milk together. What's nice about the scones is they don't have a lot in them, and they're so close to biscuits. I mean, if I left the sugar out, I would pretty much say, yeah, we pretty much are going to sit there and have biscuits. But I gave you the difference of the 2, so I hope that helps you. All right, so I have to save some of this, I remember that. Two tablespoons, yeah. Make sure you beat it thoroughly. Or if you wish me to say, mix it thoroughly. You need 2 tablespoons put to the side. Okay, I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. That's going to go over there. I think they're going to be delicious. I hope they are. I mean, they always say use currants, but I something just said, why not cranberries, you know? Currants are sweet and they have a unique flavor from raisins. Most people will make it with raisins because currants are more expensive. But I like the currants. Even as tart as they are, before you dehydrate them, I'll go out in the yard and I will eat some because they're really nice to have. I don't mind the tartness. It's different flavors, really. All right, and I think they want me, if I remember correctly. I never remember from one to the other. All right. Gather ball. Yeah, it's got to be well floured. Cracks 25, 30 times. Okay. My flour. Now, the wheat germ is not going to interfere with the flavor because I put so little in it, so you don't have to worry about it. But they say heavily flour, because you're going to have to work this. And you can see it's very, very moist. Very moist. Very tacky. All of you are so quiet now. But I warned everybody I was going to be on it this time. Oh, we're at 500. Okay. All right, you're going to need a baking sheet, a cookie sheet or something. And you need parchment paper, and that's what we're going to go get right now. I'll just use my big sheet. Okay, I'm just going to pat this out. How thick do you want this? 1 inch? 3/4? All right. Excuse me. I want you to pat this out. Now, you might have to, as you use the cookie cutter, because they might stick, they're going to tell you you're going to have to flour. No, I haven't been to the liquor store. It's usually closed when I go, which gives me a hard time. I might get my son to pick some up. It depends upon if I have any money left from shopping. They want it about 1 inch thick, okay? You might have to stick your cutter into flour. Always put some on the side. I'm going to show you where I'm putting mine. I'm putting mine right here on the side so I can sit there, go there. Because they're going to stick. They do not have to touch when you cut them out. When you cut them out the first time, make sure you get as close as you can so you don't have to handle the dough any more than you have to. Because we're going to have to handle it again, but the less you handle it, the lighter and nicer they'll be. Oh God, this is not going to be enough, I think. Okay. All right, you're going to take all these pieces, work it back into a dough. I love German chocolate cake. I have to stay away from chocolate for a while because I've had too much in too short of a time frame, and I have an allergy against it, which causes me high blood pressure. But I will be making a German chocolate cake. We love German chocolate cake. Now what you have to do is work this back in to a dough very nicely. Don't press too hard, though it looks like I am. Cook partner? How could you be my cook partner? You're not in my kitchen. Scones. We're going to try to make cranberry coconut scones. Though everybody knows them with currants or raisins in them, I'm just going in a different direction. Using a basic recipe. Come on, you've got to come back together. I can't use you unless you come back together. Okay. They want it about an inch thick. These are so good. Treat for your family in the morning. Oh, did I have enough? Now the recipe wants me to throw the rest of this dough out, but I'm waste not, want not here on some things, and I am not going to do that. I'm going to work this again very, very carefully. If you work it very, very carefully, it won't be tough. If you overwork it, it's going to be too tough. Scones. Just working this very, very gently is what I'm doing. For my family. Three, 6, 9, 12. We'll have 14 of these because I'm going to use the rest of this as one. I'm going to work it gently. That's a secret. You can make them where it doesn't look good. There. Okay, I have to clean this up first, so you've got to give me a minute. I'm not wasting this flour. pan over here. This is why I'm cleaning this up. Yes, it's me, Taffy. My cat's back. See, if you keep the bottom of your pans clean instead of laying it on your dirty area, you can keep your stove clean and you don't have to clean it as much. For those of you that clean. This is one job I disliked, was cleaning the oven. And then, because my mother was going to have me do it, and then she found out I was allergic to the cleansers. She got stuck with it anyway. So she worked with the guy in town who repaired appliances and stuff, and told, I'm sure my mother bribed him, that the oven couldn't be repaired, so my mother went and bought a self-cleaning one. All right, you need a brush. How long do you want these to cook? Yes. Okay. Ready? We're finishing these up now. Brush lightly. You don't have to brush hard. When these come out, I'll have to write this recipe down. I haven't been writing my recipes down, but I think if they're going to come out, I might as well do it. So my sons will be able to have the recipes for them when I'm no longer around. What would be funny is if I outlive them. That would really be funny. Then I'll have nobody to give them to. Okay, now we're going to put them in the oven, close the door, and turn the temperature down to 425 right away. All right, now that we've turned the temperature down, as soon as we put them in there, the oven is hot enough we could get away with that. They are going to cook for about 12 minutes. They want you to rotate halfway through the baking. So that means every 6 minutes. By the way, it took me 2 hours to find that recipe. I forgot where it was after I said, gee, I hate to tell them we can't make scones because I lost my recipe. But that happens when you end up with a lot of recipes. You end up losing them sometimes and find them again. The one down here with me is Taffy. He's sitting at the table. You can see him, he's at the table. I'll turn you where you can see him. He's sitting on the other side of the table. Hi, Taffy. He's hiding behind everything. We're making scones. We took 2 tablespoons of the egg and coconut milk and held it to brush the tops with. Scones. And hi, Big Red. Oh, that sounds like a movie of a lovely Irish setter. We had an Irish setter, and her sire was the one who played Big Red. She was beautiful. So like I say, Tara had an actor as a parent. Okay, now we have to wait. There's nothing we can do now. We've got 5 minutes. Then we're going to rotate them. And then we'll give them another 6 minutes. We'll see how they come up. So as I clean the equipment up, okay, so I'll just flip you up at this point, all right? All right. I told you we're making scones. There aren't many of you. Everybody's being quiet. Okay. I seem to have a different crew on. I don't recognize everybody here. Well, I guess a lot of people are working. Okay, you got 3 minutes and we'll reverse it. Hello, hello, hello. Dee 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 dee. Hi, Jeffy. Good boy. We're waiting, Taffy. We can't do anything until the things are done. Okay. P, you seem to have a problem right now. PGE? I'm not going to touch you, Taffy. I'm cleaning the crumbs off the table. Yes? Taffy, I was not hurting you. Okay, 1 more minute and we'll have to turn them. Well, if you get on the table, they can see you. I'll move the flowers so they can see you. See? I don't know if your cats are that talkative. Okay, we're going to move over here because we're going to have to turn these. Oh, my cat's carrying on. He is going to carry on and on and on and on. Oh, PGE, you what did you do? Leave? No, no, no. Okay, I don't know how they're going to come out, but we're going to find out because we're trying something new here. I couldn't eat at Grandma's house, letting them cats jump on the table. He's not on the table. He sits on the bloody chair. Okay? If you don't like it, that's your problem. But he likes to sit in the chair. He knows he can't get on the table. He gets on the table, I get mad with him. But he sits in the chair and he looks at the table. One time I said dinner, and our Irish setter jumped in my husband's chair. I said, it's not your dinner, it's Daddy's dinner. I mean, Really? Let's see if I can get this in here this way better. I'm using it so much. Let's see, does it fit here? Nah. I'm gonna have to do it back the other way. Okay. Kathy, no. And you have plenty of food, Kathy. Don't tell me you're hungry. Okay. Oh, he talks right back to me, Jill. The other one does too. And he comes down. The other one is his older brother. And his brother comes prancing and goes, and he walks with his tail in a question mark. That's what his older brother does. Yeah, your brother's sleeping right now. But don't worry, he'll come down. He'll smell it soon enough. Now, I might leave these scones in a little longer because we added some things to it. So I'm adjusting the temperature. I don't know what's going to come out. I was a mother in the 80s. I had just had my children in the late 70s, and I was a young mother in the 80s. What? No. 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 No, I'm not picking you up. I'm cooking right now. You have to wait. When I sit down, you come in my lap. Now I can't sit down because I told him he can come in my lap. You wish. Phil, copy Ma. My mother used to talk to Mr. Cool Cat all day till Dad came home. I don't know women who don't talk to their pets. If they're in the house, they'll talk to them. Okay, this is fine. No, you don't eat flour. I told you I spilled stuff on the floor. There. See, now you won't get flour on you. Yeah. Jill, I know what you're talking about. Hi, Vicky. Chinese do it too. I guess everyone does if you have a pet. Just ignore PGE. 52. I'm going to leave it in a little longer, I think, a couple of minutes longer. Hi, Emmett. I think I said that right. No, I did. I know French eat horses. That's true. I do know that. My husband said point blank, if things ever get too bad, Sandy, our pets are going to be food. I said, Tony, I can't. I can't. He said, well, you'll starve. And I'm not going to let anybody starve in the family. I said, okay, thank God it was never bad that we had to do that. I would have been upset. No, no, not once you give them a name and you raise them. You look at them. I mean, if we were on a ranch, I'd probably name every cow, every horse, every pig, and chicken, and then I won't be able to kill them. I just have one big family. They'll love me because I couldn't kill them. No, Phil, I've never been to California. Never. Though my older brother went there. He went to the zoo there. He was in boot camp there. Hi, Alabama. So you took cosmetology? You're a cosmetologist? I went to a cosmetologist because I reacted to perfume. So I went to Merle Norman, and she was the one makeup I could wear, but I didn't stick with makeup. I got off of it. Okay. Welcome aboard. NM. Let's see. Peace. I can't pronounce it. PSA. I'll say it like that. NM. Hi. So, I know one cosmetologist. Well, she was a makeup designer for models and stuff, and that was what was her name? She did Boom. I can't remember her name. That's her product. She's dead now, but she did it. Marilyn Monroe, you're talking about? Yeah. Somebody told me I was her cousin through marriage. So you've had an interesting life. Okay, I left him in 3 minutes longer. All right, I cooked them a little longer because I had added something different. And always put yourself back in the middle when you're done, because you will forget it's there, or you have something in it. Always check it, because some people leave the broil pan in. I'm guilty of that. And you have to make sure it's empty and the shelf is in the right place before you turn it on for your next project. Okay, here they are. They say they have to sit 10 minutes. So that's what they look like so far. And we're going to find out if this works. If this works, we've got a new scone recipe. And that just opens the door for me to do more things. Believe you me, I'll go there. Always. PG, no, I'm not cooking you supper. We had dinner. Like I told you, because I'm older, I don't eat 3 meals a day anymore. Of course, as a teenager, I didn't either because I didn't like the school lunches. But I only eat if I'm hungry. I usually finish eating by 12:30. I won't have anything for the rest of the day till the next morning. And I only have something if I am hungry. If I'm not hungry, I'm not going to eat. But I'm going to try one of these for you. So I'm going to be eating something at 3 o'clock, a little after 3. So I know I'll have to stay up a little longer so it doesn't upset my stomach. But I am going to try one. Okay, I understand that. I really want to move this onto the grill. The rack here. Bit hot. So let's see if we can get these off. Oh. Well, I don't think we're going to be disappointed. They don't have to sizzle longer. All right, here's the bottom. Thank you, Phil. You can butter the top of biscuits if you wish, but this is not a biscuit. This is a scone. They're different. They have eggs, and they have less salt and more baking powder, and they add fruit to it. Where a biscuit does not have the eggs in it. It has more baking powder. No, less baking powder and more salt. Here's the texture on the inside. And you can see the little bits of coconut right there. 305, you're right. I am a widow. I lost my husband. And cooking isn't the only thing that I love to do. I designed a bedspread, and I'm making that right now. I love to do that in the evening. These are really good. I also have a tablecloth I'm embroidering, but my sons keep on spilling everything on my tablecloths that I embroider, so I'm really dragging my heels doing that. I also have a pattern that I'm developing in my head to make placemats, and I want to do an Irish crochet. Right now, the bedspread is 3-dimensional, and I love to sit and sew, but I don't like sewing with elastic. The clothes don't last. So I've been searching for a place that can sell cotton, linen, wool, corduroy. My family, these are really good. I have to. I could start raving mad if I don't. Then you have time to sit around and think. You can have so many worries. Don't think I don't, so I'm going to stay busy. I'm bleeding from my sinuses, from the heat in the inside, and then from the cold outside, and I'm blowing so much blood out. I just took my nose design rings off until further notice. I'm hoping by next week it'll be better and I can put them back in. That's the only reason I'm not wearing them right now. I haven't had them on for about 3 weeks now, and it was bad. Do try these. You will not be disappointed. And let me know what you think of them. I am so glad I'm not a blimp, though I could be very easily. You're watching me enjoy these. These are good. Yes, I've heard of that too. Vicky. Leave them in about 3 minutes longer after 6 minutes and you turn them in the oven. Leave them in a little longer. I left mine in 3 minutes longer just because of the currents and stuff, and I wanted to make sure. Let me know what you think of them. Definitely, Jill. I look forward to you telling me how good they are. Or how bad if you don't like them. You know, whatever. I'm enjoying them. You have to leave them about 10 minutes to cool in the pan before you take them out. The one I ate, I took out a little early, a couple of minutes, but they recommend 10 minutes. And now, everybody knows the difference between a biscuit and a scone. They are very light. You have children and you have this instead of bread in the morning or cereal, and you can fix sausage with them or bacon if you want, or eggs with milk, I think they'll be very happy. I understand that, Vicki. When you hit retirement, you should sit there and enjoy retirement. Find something to do. If you can't, and you enjoy working, you continue working. I love cooking and sharing. And people have asked me to teach them what I know. I don't know everything. I know doctors and nurses and nutritionists and stuff don't know everything about the human body. But they know well. But they're breaking everything down into such a point in life. Would you like one? Here. They're good. Isn't that delicious? My younger son's here and he's trying it right now. So, when you hit retirement, don't look at it at the end of working. Find something that you love and do it, you know? And I'd encourage you, if you want to share your love, make a YouTube channel. Listen, I'm not computer wise, but if you have a son or a daughter who could help you set it up to something that you love, do it. Share your love. It'll help other people. You know? If you love reading children's stories to little ones, that's a lovely thing to do, you know, to have a YouTube and read stories or mysteries, because children love that, you know. And you can also put children to bed easy that way by reading to them. So that's it for this. We did the scones. They turned out. Just remember, leave them a little longer. That's all. Just a few minutes, and you've got this. No problem. Let them sit 10 minutes on the paper and the pan. The, what do they call that? You saw me pull the paper out and put it there. I can't remember the name of it. Parchment paper. Okay, just leave it there until they cool enough. Normally 10 minutes, and then take them off and put them on the rack. But enjoy them. So take care, Rob, Vicki, Jill, and I guess I'll be here tomorrow. It's Thursday. Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow morning. Okay, take care. Yeah, see, Vicki, you could do that and have fun. Don't give up on life just because you get old. Enjoy it for what it is. It's a time when you can be that child again in your own right. It's just think, I read this on Facebook before I leave. They said when you're little, you want to stay out all night, stay up, eat what you want, drink, smoke. And then you hit 60 and you go into retirement and say, gee, I can stay out all late at night. I can smoke, I can drive my car, and everything else, everything you want to do as a teenager, you got to do when you're older. And I fell out laughing. It was so hilarious. You all are welcome. I love sharing. the recipes and the things that I have learned in nutrition and stuff, and the tricks and how you can balance the diet so you don't have to be sick in old age. It's my pleasure to do it. I love sharing it with you, and I'm glad so many of you have subscribed to the channel to learn and to help yourself hold on to your health. The healthier we are, the more we can enjoy old age, okay? So I'm going to say this that my son said you shouldn't say it, but I usually say it to everybody I know. God bless and enjoy your evening to the fullest. Bye-bye.